I was watching one of my favorite YouTube shows, Pop Culture Crisis, and they brought up this story which I thought would be interesting to talk about. So I shall let Mary introduce it.
So I came across a thread over the weekend, started with this statement. I can't believe a guy tweeted, so many things you don't know till you get a GF. His example was, she told me I could open the window to let a breeze in. And what ensued in response was just countless examples of men who don't know basic common sense. They haven't learned basic adult functioning tasks, and they need their girlfriends to mommy them and teach them these things, and they're being called the mommy girlfriends. And
okay, I take issue with her saying basic functioning tasks. A lot of these aren't functioning tasks, or basic maybe, but you don't need them to function. You get me? Like opening the thing to let a breeze in, like that. That's not. You know what I mean? Okay.
Yeah. No. Okay.
To preface. Okay. So that was the initial topic, and just to preface this, I will be taking the role of the adamant defender of the men, no matter what, and Satirius will just be playing himself.
Okay. All right. I'm Satirius playing myself.
Okay. So she then proceeds to make a list naming some things that guys did not know.
Okay.
Some of them, again, no matter what, I'm going to defend them. But I just my acknowledgement really quick that some of them, okay, I think the girls are lying. And then other ones, I can see how. But no matter what, I'm going to try to defend them. Okay, ready?
All right, let's do it. Yeah.
They legit don't know things. And you get to teach them shit like, you can go back to sleep if you wake up in the middle of the night. Once a man didn't know who his best friend was until I pointed it out. It's so fun.
That's BS.
Okay, what do you think about just that point right there? Once
going
a man
back to sleep?
No. The going back to sleep was ridiculous. That's I'm not.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But the other one, which said once a man didn't know who his best friend was until I pointed it out.
No.
Did you hear that part or no?
Not. Yeah, I did. Absolutely not.
You don't believe it, or?
I don't believe it. There's no way.
All right, hear me out. Watch this. Someone like our group, yes, we have established like best friends. We've known each other since forever. But think about somebody like, I don't know, Gabriel. I don't know who his best friend is. I don't know if he knows who his best friend is. Sometimes we don't care to classify it. Story. Who's Story's best friend? Exactly.
Yeah,
he has a lot of good friends, but he doesn't. I don't know if he would know who his best friend is.
Maybe he does.
And maybe his girl was like, "Oh, well, who do you talk the most to? Who do you confide in? Blah blah blah." And then Story would come to the realization of like, "Oh, this is my best friend."
Interesting.
And
I guess maybe you and I are just so already locked in on that we know it.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm like 90% on that one.
Because I only saw in two extremes. You either have a best friend or you just don't have friends.
What? No, that's not no.
No, it's just like you don't. The reason why you don't have a best friend is because you just really don't hang out with people.
Again, he's not saying he didn't have a best friend. She was saying he didn't know who his best friend was. There's a distinction. I can see that happening, and I'm like 90% on this one. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Here is another one. Today, my boyfriend said that he was going to cook me dinner. After waiting for the frozen pizza that he decided to make for me to be completely cooked, he said, "Oh, I hate this part." Reached into the oven with his bare hands and took out the pizza while screaming.
What do you think?
I think the guy was just being dumb.
Do you believe it? You think it was true?
I think he was just trying to be cute to his girlfriend.
Okay.
If it was true.
I don't think this one was true. I think the woman was lying. So. But here's my defense. I could see someone like, no offense, Gabriel. I don't know why. He's the first guy that popped to my mind of doing something like this, of being like, oh, I guess I just gotta man up and get the pizza out the oven myself.
That's a different thing.
I can see him doing that.
There's doing it because you're just a man and you don't need mitts, and then there's just like, it's a hot thing. I think it is common sense. You don't touch hot things without some sort of hand protection.
I'm 10% on this one.
No, I'm just saying.
I'm 10% serious on this one.
I think if that story was true, it's because that guy was just trying to either be machismo or he's trying to be cute.
Yeah,
right?
no, I don't even think this story was true. I think this is a lie, but I'm just trying to defend everything here. So,
stop being dumb, man.
But my first thought was like, I don't know why it was Gabriel. I'm just like, yeah, I can see him doing something like this.
He's trying to be machismo.
Okay, here's the next one.
She said, I slept with a guy once who insisted that his bathroom floor was soaked every time he took a shower because he was so tall. Then I took a shower at his place and he got mad at me for moving the curtain liner into the shower and getting it wet. He didn't know how curtain liners work.
Do you remember? Do you... when we went to Mammoth and Gabriel got the whole freaking floor wet because he didn't know to put the liner inside? Need I say more? Gabriel, I would consider him, I know he doesn't sound the smartest, but he is one of my more, he picks things up quick. I do consider him smart, even though he's not necessarily book smart. But somebody, no offense, like Barbosa, was in the same situation as Gabriel, I do think he would be like, that's weird, and then move on. It wouldn't be until it happened a couple of times where he'd be like, guys, I think my tub is leaking. I can fully see that playing out in my head, dude. Love you guys. Shout out to the squad.
They have shower doors. I think that's why.
So Gabriel always had shower doors. That was
yeah.
the explanation he gave.
If you don't grow up with the tub, I think I can see where why would it be on the inside of the tub? It's gonna get wet.
He had shower
Especially
doors.
in hotels. They have cloth liners.
Mm-hmm.
That's the weird thing. Is like at home we have a plastic liner and the cloth liner sits outside the tub, right? It's a dual liner or dual cover. That's hilarious.
Yes,
because common sense versus not, I would say that is not a common idea. Like if you don't have a tub, you're not gonna know that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, here's another one.
My ex taught me that you could turn on the water before getting in the shower. I would just get in, turn on the water, and be miserable until it got to the right temperature for my whole life.
That was his.
Do you believe that one? First, do you believe it? No?
No. I just don't. There's no way you could not even on your own think, let me run this at one temperature. Let me find the temperature first.
The thing is, I don't do that. I don't wait outside. I just get in, turn on the water, and yeah, I'll suffer through it. Like, I genuinely do. I don't wait for it to get to the right temperature. Why? I don't know.
So that you don't have to walk into freezing cold water if you didn't want to.
You don't have to walk into freezing cold water. Get over yourself. Be a man.
No, get it to the right temperature. Why would you do that?
I guess it's not that big of a deal. Just walk in. This one is, I genuinely don't wait. It's not because I don't know. I'd be much more comfortable, sure, but I'm just like, it's not that big of a deal. Let me just get in. That's how I see it. That is, and so that's what I'm assuming he's like that as well. I'm assuming it's not that he's ignorant. It's just that he's like, oh, I guess I can just wait outside. I guess that'd be fine. But because if my girl came to me and she was like, you could just wait, I'd be like, yeah, I know, I guess I could, but I guess I will. But it depends on how I'm feeling. I don't know. I'm 50% on this one. But I do genuinely, I don't wait for it to get to the right temperature. I just get in. It's not that big of a deal. It'll be cold for a little bit and then it'll get warm. It's fine. Okay, there's a bunch more. We're kind of running out of time, so I'm just going to try to speed run through some of these.
Yep.
Okay, one guy didn't know underwear had sizes.
All clothing has sizes. That's just weird.
Okay, in his defense, if he was, maintaining a relative weight for an extended period of time, he wasn't gaining weight and losing weight, he hasn't had to buy underwear since he was like, I don't know, 17 or whatever in high school. I can see him getting to like 23 or 24 with the same pair of underwear and his mom just bought it for him. And like, I'm 10% on this one. This one I'm not. I'm trying, but this one's, yeah, I get you. That's weird.
No.
Okay.
They'll pass.
Next one is, one guy didn't know that mammals don't lay eggs. Do you believe that one's true?
Yeah, I think that might be.
You believe a guy can make it to adulthood and be like, I didn't know mammals don't lay eggs?
I think if you're just not paying attention in school and you're completely in La La Land, yeah, I do think that can be true.
Yeah. So I was going to defend him. I was assuming you'd be like, no, this is crazy. I didn't think you were going to be for him. I looked up a list of mammals that don't lay eggs. Platypus, echidna, and I think that's it. Okay, I don't know. That's a weak argument. 10% on that one. Okay.
Oh, sorry. To clarify, you looked up mammals that do lay eggs.
That don't lay eggs.
That don't lay eggs. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, sorry. That do lay eggs. My fault. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is platypuses or platypi and echidnas. Oh, I was trying to compile a list. But it was really, yeah, but it was really only 3.
It's the 2 items that really defended.
Okay. Another guy didn't know to poop with the toilet seat down. He thought it always had to be up. First of all, do you believe that or no?
That's a failure on his parents. No, I don't. That's a failure on his parents.
But do you believe it's actually true or you think the women just lying?
I think the woman's lying.
Yeah, no. Okay, I agree. But in his defense, me trying to defend him, this is the feminist's fault. Hear me out. I can see feminists being like, "Oh, the patriarchy's always keeping us down, and you always just leave a toilet seat up, and from now on, like that's how you're gonna have to poop too, if that's how you pee." I don't know. I'm 20% on that argument.
Okay.
I can see that.
Well, that
being a
one
thing.
out of nowhere for sure.
How to shower. I believe that. I think guys, we kind of just.
What do you
put
mean how
soap-
to shower? There is no rule on how to shower.
True, but maybe she had a specific. I don't know.
So that's specific to
routine.
her. I don't think that's like there is no one way to shower.
I agree.
That's
But-
that's a her issue.
But I can
Okay,
see that
go
being
ahead.
true. As I'm saying.
Okay.
How to load a dishwasher. Again,
I think that's true.
I've never
I-
owned a dishwasher. Like I've never even loaded one. I have no idea how to load one.
All right, here's funny. This is from experience. I've never loaded a dishwasher before,
Right.
except for when I got the house and there was a dishwasher and I used it for the first time. I was actually confused at how I should put things here, but I placed it in a way that made sense to me and what would be the most effective way to clean it. That's
Yes.
where I'm different from other men who just don't.
And
clean
it was
try.
probably all wrong. Okay.
Go ahead, continue.
Just because it makes sense to you doesn't mean it's right.
There is no one way to load a dishwasher.
I'm pretty sure there is. I don't
No,
know.
there
We've
isn't.
always hand washed our dishes. We're Mexican, so.
Yeah.
How to floss. I
Okay,
can see
maybe.
that. How to
Yeah.
use a trash can. I think she's lying on that one. There's no
Yeah,
way.
I think she's lying.
How to text back.
That sounds personal.
She seems
No.
needy.
Yep.
How to make rice. I believe
There's a way
that
to
one.
make rice, and I was taught how to make rice.
Yes, most people just use rice cookers. I get that one. How to stop drinking milk with spaghetti.
What? That one sounds like that's an ick kind of thing for the girl.
It just sounds like he never grew out of eating milk with stuff.
Drinking milk with
Or
stuff.
drinking
yeah.
milk. Yeah, drinking milk with stuff. How to apologize without blaming me. Again, we already said it. It was
Personal.
probably her fault. How to close cabinets.
Oh, also, just a nuanced particular thing.
My dad did teach me how to close cabinets because when I was little, I would just close, close. But he's like, yeah, hey,
No,
close
he
it
yelled at you
slowly.
because you did not close it enough.
So what I'm saying is, I can believe this happening because like if you didn't have a dad to yell at you about slamming the cabinets,
I don't even think it'd be the dad. I think it'd be the mother yelling at you. So what about that?
Okay, you're
Both
orphaned.
parents. Oh,
Okay, you're orphaned. What now?
then you just had a bad parent who didn't know how to close doors.
You're orphaned.
Sorry.
They died. You have no
sorry.
parents.
I thought adopted parent.
Oh,
Then
gotcha.
The orphan carers.
Gotcha. Okay.
Go for
How
it.
to stop putting a wet towel on the bed.
That
one-
one kind
that one- yeah, that
of
one, sure,
yeah,
fine,
sure.
How to Google things.
Yeah, no, I
That-
think
that
men
one
are the
seems
best
made up.
at
There's no
Googling
way.
things. Yeah.
The one thing that I was surprised that did not come up is teaching men to use conditioner. Because I do think there's been a couple of guys now in my area circle or whatever that didn't realize conditioner was a thing, including myself, until my ex was like, oh, conditioner's a separate thing.
I give that one a pass because we're so used to the 2-in-1s or just
The
not even using
3-in-1s?
conditioner. Yeah, or the 3-in-1s. Guys just don't care about it.
Yeah.
Really. So that one makes sense.
Yep.
Anything beauty, body care related, guys generally don't care.
Right. As long as it cleans and doesn't smell stinky.
Exactly.
So there are things that are common sense to girls that aren't to guys. And one example I did want to bring up was recently we sold this little playhouse thing, right? The playhouse needed to be disassembled. And the girl who came to pick it up, she was like, oh, do you have a screwdriver I could borrow? I gave her the drill, right? And then I was going to do it, but then I actually had a little bit of a crisis because I was going to do it myself. But I was like, what if she's like a crazy feminist? And she's like, no, I can do it myself. And then I'm going to get mad. I'm going to tell her to leave. And then so it's going to be a whole thing. So then I was like, should I still be a gentleman no matter what? But then she kind of just like reached out her hand. And so I was like, all right, fine. So I just gave it to her. She had never used a drill in her life. Like I could tell. And so I was going to ask you this. You're undrilling a screw, right? You're taking it out. It slips, like the thing doesn't catch it. What do you do?
You apply more pressure.
You apply more pressure. She was not applying more pressure, dude. I was like, what are you? It was just they're spinning. I'm pretty sure they were all barrido. What do you call that in
Stripped?
English? A strip. I'm pretty sure they were all stripped.
Ah, jeez.
I was like, dude, you're gonna have a hard time rebuilding this. And then so
Did you help her at least?
Yeah, eventually I was like,
Yeah.
hey, but if you push in, it'll come out. I know it's like counterintuitive. And then I realized I was like, wow, that's common sense to a guy. I don't know any guy who wouldn't know that.
That's common sense to a guy. I think that's common sense to a guy who's been around that. You and I grew up with dads who did work themselves.
So what I'm saying is it's common sense because we grew around our dads and our dads helped us get these things that we now consider common
Yeah.
sense. These women grew up around their moms. So like the moms taught them the common sense thing that they think is common sense. You get me?
Yeah.
That's my only argument, where it's like, these are common sense things to women maybe, but to men it's not as much, because we didn't really grow up doing these things.
Yeah,
we
that's
didn't-
fair.
we
But
didn't-
some of these things, I do think it's fair to call out. Like if you didn't know how to shower right, or
Some of these things, sure, yeah.
some of these things, like I don't think it matters if you did it with your dad or your mom. I do think some of these are common sense items that
But
should be known.
But a lot of them, I can see why some guys wouldn't know.